Welcome to another deep dive. This time we're heading to Spain to look at the world of insects.
Oh, Spain.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
We're going to be looking at this article. It's called Insects in Spain,
Oh, yeah.
and it was just published this week on a website called Gineceo en Español.
Okay.
So get ready because we're going to discover a whole lot more than just paella and flamenco.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Spain has some seriously diverse landscapes.
Yeah.
From, the sunny coasts to the Pyrenees Mountains and all those different environments. They're just teeming with insect life.
I bet.
You might be surprised to learn that Spain is home to over 4,000 moth species.
Wow. More than 4,000. That's a lot.
It is a lot. That's even more diverse than some tropical rainforests.
Wow.
Yeah, it really shows how all the different climates and landscapes in Spain,
Yeah.
they create these unique habitats for all sorts of insects,
Right.
for them to thrive.
Yeah. And it's not just moths, of course. You've got over 226 butterfly species,
Wow.
countless beetles, and there are a lot of ants in Spain.
Oh, boy. I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, before we get lost in a sea of legs and antenna,
Yeah.
maybe we should start with like a big picture overview.
Yes, for sure.
What makes Spain such a great place for insects?
Well, you have to think about the geography. Spain has everything from coastal regions
Yeah.
to mountain ranges, forests to deserts. And each of these environments provides these unique challenges and opportunities for insects,
Right.
which leads to this fascinating array of adaptations and species.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the article mentioned that a lot of these insects, they kind of hit their peak
Yeah,
during spring and summer.
that's right.
Yeah, I can just imagine a Spanish summer buzzing with life.
Absolutely. The warmer months provide those ideal conditions for insects
Yeah.
to reproduce and thrive. It's just a feast for the senses,
Yeah.
with butterflies fluttering through fields of wildflowers and cicadas serenading you from the trees.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of feasts,
Okay.
let's talk about bees. They're super important for pollinating all of Spain's crops, right?
You bet bees play a crucial role in Spain's agricultural landscape.
Right.
I mean, without them, a lot of the fruits and vegetables and nuts that we enjoy just wouldn't exist.
Yeah, they're so tiny, but they make such a big impact.
It's a good reminder that even the smallest creatures can have a huge impact on our lives.
Totally. And let's not forget those tiny creatures that we often take for granted, ants.
Oh, and
The article really dives deep into the world of ants in Spain. I always thought ants were just
Yeah.
those little guys crawling around my kitchen.
Yeah.
But apparently Spain is an ant paradise.
Ants are literally everywhere in Spain, from the bustling cities to those quiet forests.
Wow.
And they play a vital role in the ecosystem, acting as decomposers, seed dispersers, even predators.
Oh, wow.
The article highlights 3 common species,
Okay.
each with its own kind of unique story.
Okay, tell me more.
All right, so first you've got the Argentine ant. It's actually an invasive species that's become a bit of a nuisance in urban areas.
So they're not.
Yeah,
These
they're
are good.
they're not great. They outcompete native ant species, and they
Yeah.
disrupt that natural balance.
So even on a tiny scale like that, invasive species can really cause a lot of problems.
Exactly. Then you have the black garden ant,
Okay.
a familiar sight, I think, in parks and gardens.
Yeah.
They're not as aggressive as the Argentine ants, and they actually play a more beneficial role in the ecosystem.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And then there are the redwood ants.
Yes.
The article mentioned they build these incredible mounds
Yes.
in forests. What's the deal with those?
Those mounds are more than just piles of dirt. They're these sophisticated structures that help regulate the temperature and humidity
Wow.
inside the colony.
Wow.
The ants use these intricate tunnels and chambers to control the airflow,
Oh.
ensuring a stable environment for their young.
It's like they're tiny architects.
Yeah,
It makes you wonder if we could learn something from their building techniques.
you're absolutely right. There's a whole field of study called biomimicry that looks to nature
Wow.
for inspiration to solve those human problems.
Yeah.
And those ant mounds,
Yeah.
they're a perfect example of how even tiny creatures can inspire innovative solutions.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ant mounds, they're really a fascinating example of how these creatures have adapted
Yeah.
to live in Spain's landscapes. But while the ants might dominate on the ground,
Okay.
what about the air?
Well, when you think of aerial acrobatics,
Yeah.
you got to think dragonflies and damselflies,
Oh,
right?
sure, yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And Spain's numerous water bodies, from rivers and lakes to those coastal lagoons, they provide like the perfect habitat for these
Yeah.
dazzling insects. You'll often find them just flitting about,
Mm.
their iridescent wings just shimmering in the sunlight.
It's like tiny little helicopters just zipping around,
Yeah,
catching insects midair. I mean, their
Right.
speed and agility is incredible.
it's amazing.
It's no wonder they've been around for millions of years.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of ancient predators,
Okay.
the article also mentioned praying mantises.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know there are 15 different species in mainland Spain
Wow.
and another one in the Canary Islands?
I did not know that.
I always thought they were more of a tropical insect.
Yeah, it just goes to show how diverse Spain's insect population is.
Right.
Praying mantises are ambush predators. They're perfectly camouflaged among the plants, just waiting for their unsuspecting prey
Yeah.
to wander a little too close.
It's a reminder that while we often think of insects as, harmless
Right.
or even beneficial,
Sure.
some are pretty fierce predators.
Oh, yeah.
With fascinating hunting techniques.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the beetles.
Oh, yeah, the beetles.
Spain boasts a vast array of these armored insects, from those tiny ladybugs
Yeah,
to those mighty stag beetles.
right.
They play important roles as pollinators, decomposers, and even predators.
That's right. But not all beetles are good, right?
Yep. That is true, unfortunately.
The article mentioned the red palm weevil as a major pest in Spain.
That's right. The red palm weevil is a serious threat to palm trees, and it's caused a lot of damage to Spain's iconic palm groves.
It's such a shame.
It just highlights that complex relationship that we have with insects.
Yeah.
They can be both beneficial and harmful.
Yeah.
And finding that balance is so crucial.
Speaking of balance,
Okay.
we talked about the Mediterranean fruit fly earlier.
Yeah.
Another insect that's a problem for Spanish agriculture.
Right.
What makes them so problematic?
The Mediterranean fruit fly, it's a notorious agricultural pest.
Yeah.
And its larvae, they infest a wide variety of fruits and vegetables,
Oh, no.
causing damage to crops and then economic losses for farmers.
Yeah, that's not good.
Managing these pests requires a really multifaceted approach, including careful monitoring traps and targeted treatments.
Right. It sounds like a constant battle
It is.
to protect the crops while also minimizing the impact on the environment.
It is a delicate balancing act.
Yeah.
But thankfully, ongoing research and innovation, they're constantly developing
Okay.
new, more sustainable approaches to pest control.
That's good to hear that they're at least working on that.
Yeah.
So I want to circle back to the Spanish moon moth,
Oh, okay.
that endangered species we mentioned
Yeah.
earlier. The name alone, Grelsia isabelle.
It's beautiful.
Sounds so beautiful and almost mythical.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it?
The Spanish moon moth, it truly is a sight to behold. It's one of the largest and most striking moths in Europe.
Wow.
With its pale green wings and those intricate patterns and eye-like markings.
Yeah, it sounds beautiful.
But unfortunately, its
Right.
beauty has made it a target for collectors, and then habitat loss has also contributed to its decline.
It's so sad to think that such a beautiful creature
Yeah,
is facing extinction.
it is.
It's a reminder that we need to be more mindful of our impact on the environment
It is.
and the balance of these ecosystems.
Absolutely. The fate of the Spanish moon moth is a stark reminder that even those seemingly small actions can have ripple effects
Yeah.
throughout the natural world,
Great.
It's up to us to make sure that future generations can continue to marvel at the beauty and diversity of Spain's insect life.
That's right. This deep dive has really highlighted just the importance of understanding
Yeah,
and appreciating these little creatures.
they are amazing.
What would you say are the most important things for our listener to take away?
I think the key takeaway is that the world of insects is far more complex and fascinating than we often give it credit for.
Right.
These creatures play vital roles in our ecosystems, and their adaptations to Spain's diverse environments are truly remarkable.
We've seen how they can be both beneficial and harmful,
That's right.
and how finding a balance is crucial for a healthy ecosystem.
Yeah.
We've also explored the incredible diversity of insect life
Yeah.
in Spain, from those tiny ants to those majestic moths. We've talked about the diversity of insects in Spain and their roles, but I'm really curious about those adaptations.
Wow. Yeah.
Think about it. Spain has those scorching deserts, lush forests, everything in between.
Yeah.
Insects have had to evolve some pretty incredible ways to survive.
They
in those different
Well,
environments.
absolutely. And it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving.
Right.
Take the redwood ants, for example. Their mounds aren't just homes.
Right.
They're like these mini climate-controlled cities.
It's true.
They use those tunnels and chambers to regulate temperature and humidity,
Yeah.
create a stable environment for the colony,
Yeah.
no matter what the weather is doing outside.
It's amazing how they figure that out. It's like
Right.
they have an architectural blueprint
Well, you're not far off.
passed down.
It's all thanks to natural selection over millions of years.
Right.
The ants that were best at building those mounds
Right.
were the ones that survived and passed on their genes. It's a testament to the power of evolution to solve those problems,
Yeah.
even on a tiny scale.
So what about insects in those really harsh, dry regions of Spain?
Yeah.
How they deal with all that heat and limited water?
Well, imagine yourself out in the desert, the sun is beating down. How would you conserve water?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, some insects, they've developed a waxy coating on their exoskeletons.
Oh, wow.
To minimize that water loss through evaporation,
Yeah.
it's like wearing a natural raincoat.
That's so cool. What other tricks do they have up their sleeves or
Yeah, what other tricks?
exoskeletons?
Some have become masters of disguise. They blend right into their surroundings to avoid those predators.
Oh, that's smart.
Others have become nocturnal to escape that intense daytime heat.
Oh, that makes sense.
And some have evolved these specialized mouth parts that let them pull moisture from seemingly dry plants.
Wow. Talk about resourcefulness.
Right.
That's incredible how these creatures have adapted to thrive in such difficult environments. I bet there are a lot of lessons we humans could learn from them.
You're absolutely right. Biomimicry is gaining a lot of traction.
Yeah.
And by studying how insects have solved those problems, like water conservation, temperature regulation, efficient building,
Yeah.
we might just find solutions to our own challenges.
It just makes you realize we're all part of this interconnected web of life.
We are.
And even the smallest creatures can teach us so much. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the world of insects in Spain.
It has been a fascinating journey. We've explored their diversity, their roles, the challenges, and the benefits.
Yeah.
But most importantly, I hope we've sparked a sense of wonder and appreciation
I think we have.
for these often overlooked creatures.
For sure. So to our listener, we'll leave you with this thought the next time you see an insect. Take a moment to really observe it.
Yeah.
Think about the journey it's taken to survive and thrive.
Yeah.
What can you learn from its resilience? What secrets does it hold?
Mm.
The world of insects is full of wonder and inspiration, just waiting to be discovered.